Let's take care of our armory and weaponry. Now, especially since we got Liara as well. Not really anything. Should do us for our character first. Anything better here? And here's well. Anything here? No. Armor? Not really. From what I remember, I think Liara mostly uses pistols. So let's see which one is better. And let's add some upgrades real quick. Oh yeah, we can use this for her. Antibiotic M's? No. Not any better. Oh no. Accidentally changed it. There we go. Sometimes this confuses me so much. Any upgrades? I think so. Tali, shotgun. And better upgrade. Maybe this one. And this one. Omnito is the same. And no armor for her yet. I think Rex also uses assault rifles, but I'm not completely sure. I think so. At least. Shotgun. This one is better. This one is even better. Okay. Use that one. And don't have to change that one. No biotic amp and no better armor either. But we have armor upgrade at least. Garrus, sniper rifles. I'll use this one. Better upgrades, yes. And this one. And the Omni tool, no. And no armor for him yet. Caden. Oh. Nothing. But we have this at least. And we have the change it to that one. Omni tool, no. Biotic, no. Any armor that's better? Not necessarily. And then Ashley can have this one. Anything here, can do that. And I guess that one. We don't really have a whole lot of choice. Nothing that's better for her. We can use that. Let's talk to her.
Commander?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
I think she's being straight with us. Or at least I don't think she lies very often.
Yeah, she's probably really bad at it. Hey, want me to ask her about her sex life? Might be illuminating.
That's just weird.
I don't think she's used to teasing, good-natured or otherwise.
No fun, Commander. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was hoping to get a minute of your time. Off the record.
I keep an open door policy. If you have any concerns, lay them on me.
All right. I know things are different aboard the Normandy, but I'm concerned about the aliens, Vicarian and Rex. With all due respect, Commander, should they have full access to the ship?
They may not serve the Alliance, Chief, but they're allies. At least as far as Saren goes.
This is the most advanced ship in the Alliance Navy. I don't think we should give them free rein to poke around the vital systems. Engines, sensors, weapons.
That's enough, Chief. You always second-guess your superiors?
Ma'am, no ma'am. I'm sorry, I was out of line. I'll get back to my duties, Commander.
She's kind of... Not kind of. She is racist against, like, other alien species.
Commander, how are you?
Why did you want to be a C-Sec officer in the first place?
That's a good question. There were several reasons, I guess.
Like what?
Probably the same as most officers. I wanted to fight injustice, wanted to help people. I guess my father had something to do with it too. He was C-Sec, one of the best. I grew up hearing about his accomplishments or seeing his picture on the vids after a big arrest. He's taking my resignation pretty hard.
That's tough. But you'd think he'd be impressed you're going after Saren.
My father's a C-Sec man to the bone. Do things right or don't do them at all, he says. He thinks I'm being too rash, too impatient. He's worried I'll become just like Saren. He actually talked me out of becoming a Spectre when I was younger, for the same reasons.
You were asked to be a Spectre.
Well, I was targeted as a possible Spectre candidate. Me and about 1,000 other Turian military recruits. I could have received special training, but my father didn't like it.
He despises the Spectres. He hates the idea of someone having unlimited power with no accountability. He wouldn't like you, Commander. No offense.
I suppose I can understand his concern.
You can. But Saren's not gonna play by our rules, C-Sec's rules. If you want to nail Saren, you need to send someone who isn't restricted by policies and procedures.
Just because you can break the rules doesn't mean you should. I don't need to stoop to Saren's level to stop him. And neither do you, Garrus.
I see what you mean, but I'll think about it. Thanks, Commander.
Oh, we got a codex from that. Nice. We should really get into more of the codexes. Feel like we're kind of getting behind on them. And I think we just got a new one. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Shepard.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Your ship is amazing, and your crew's been really great to me, especially your chief engineer. But I just sort of feel out of place. The Normandy runs so smooth it feels like we're not even moving, and the engines are so quiet. How do you sleep at night?
The silence wakes you up?
Back on the flotilla, the last thing you want to hear is silence. It means an engine's died or an air filter shut down. I guess you don't have to worry about that here. But old habits die hard. But it's more than just the silence. This ship feels so empty. It's like half the crew is missing. Back home, I couldn't wait to go on my pilgrimage. I couldn't wait to get away from the crowds. Now that I'm out here, I kind of miss them.
Sometimes we don't appreciate what we have till it's gone.
That's true. I'm starting to wonder if that's what the pilgrimage is really about. It's given me a whole new perspective on my people and our culture. You know, there's always a few who go on their pilgrimages and never return. I always assumed something bad happened to them. But maybe they just wanted a different life.
You do plan to return to the migrant fleet, right?
I could never abandon my people, Shepard. I will go back eventually. But we have to stop Saren first. Otherwise, I might not have a home to go back to.
I think we did everything.
I should go.
See you later.
Okay, let's go back up and check out the codexes and what we can do next. Also, I don't know if I'm the only one, but the doors kind of look like vending machines. Every time when I see them, that's just the thing that pops up in my head. Ooh, got my point. What should I put it in? Guess we can put some throw and then keep one just in case. Any new assignments? Inform Nasana and UNC Turian insignia. Several Turian outposts and colonies were destroyed during the Unification War. Each colony's insignia also disappeared. We have to get 13 and we already have 1. That's nice. Let's check out the codexes. Oof, that's a lot.
After the thresher moths are subterranean carnivores that spend their entire lives eating or searching for something to eat. Threshers reproduce via spores that can lie dormant for millennia, yet are robust enough to survive prolonged periods in deep space and atmospheric re-entry. As a result, thresher spores appear on many worlds, spread by previous generations of space travelers. The body of a thresher never entirely leaves the ground. Only the head and tentacles erupt from the Earth to attack. In addition to physical attacks, threshers have the ability to project toxic chemicals and emit bursts of infrasound as a shockwave weapon. The Alliance first encountered threshers on the colony of Akuz in 2177. After contact was lost with the Pioneer team, Marine units were deployed to investigate. The shore parties were set upon by hungry threshers, and nearly the entire assault force was killed. Alliance forces recommend engaging threshers with vehicle-mounted heavy weapons.
Yikes.
Faster than light, ship mobility dominates space combat. The primary objective is to align the mass accelerator along the bow with the opposing vessel's broadside. Battles typically play out as artillery duels, fought at ranges measured in thousands of kilometers, though assaults through defended mass relays often occur at knife fight ranges as close as a few dozen kilometers. Most ship-to-ship engagements are skirmishes between patrol vessels of cruiser weight and below, with dreadnoughts and carriers only deployed in full-scale fleet actions. Battles in open space are short and often inconclusive, as the weaker opponent typically disengages. Once a ship enters FTL flight, the combat is effectively over. There are no sensors capable of tracking them or weapons capable of damaging them. The only way to guarantee an enemy will stand and fight is to attack a location they have a vested interest in, such as a settled world or a strategically important mass relay.
Interesting. Anything else? No. Oof, we got a lot of council races information. So, Asari culture. Because of their long lifespan, Asari tend to have a long view. That is not common in other races. When they encounter a new species or situation, the Asari are more comfortable with an extended period of passive observation and study than immediate action. They are unfazed that some of their investments or decisions may not pay off for decades or centuries. Matriarchs can seem to make incomprehensible decisions, but their insight is evident when their carefully laid plans come to fruition. In interstellar relations, this long view manifests in an unspoken policy of centrism. The Asari instinctively seek to maintain stable balances of economic, political, and military power. Traditionally, Asari spread their influence through cultural domination and intellectual superiority. I know the word, I can't pronounce it. Superiority. Yes. I can't speak, man. They invite new species of advanced development to join the galactic community, knowing that their ideals and beliefs will inevitably influence the existing culture. Sorry, government. The Asari came late to the concept of world government. For centuries, the homeworld of Fessia was dotted with loose confederacies, yes, of great republican cities. The closest earthly equivalent would be the ancient Mediterranean city-states. Since the Asari culture values consensus and accommodation, there was little impetus to form larger principalities. Rather than hoard resources, the Asari battered freely. Rather than attack one another over differing philosophies, they sought to understand one another. Only in the information age did the city-states grow close. Communication over internet evolved into electronic democracy. Asari have no politicians or elections, but a freewheeling, all-inclusive legislature that citizens can participate in at will. Policy debates take place at all hours of the day. In official chat rooms and forums moderated by specially programmed virtual intelligences, or VIs. All aspects of policy are open to plebiscite at any time. In any given debate, the Asari tend to lend the most credence to the opinions of any matriarchs present, nearly always differing through the experience of these millennia-old wise women. Achieving consensus through public debate may take too long in a crisis. In cases where prompt, decisive action is required, the Asari defer to the wisdom of local matriarchs. Solarians League of One. Before they joined the Citadel, the Solarians' most potent military tool was a small reconnaissance team known as the League One, or the League of One. Their primary training was in espionage and assassinations. Never more than a dozen strong, the team was adept at infiltrating the tightest defenses and eliminating all necessary obstacles. Only a few top members of government and military were privy to the League's identities. So, I'm guessing the League of One is kind of like the specters in the whole Milky Way, like their own kind of specters. Anything else? I feel like I'm just gonna like skim through them and see if I see anything important. So it says here, the only evidence of the participation in the League was a small medallion presented to each member upon indication. And that's the thing that we have to find right now. So we're finding all of the League of One. The secrecy was maintained until the formation of the Council. In an effort to dispel rumors and appease their new Asari partners, the Solarian Union released all classified documents portraying to the League. The League of One was suddenly exposed and in danger of being hunted down by enemies of the Solarians. Being any harm could be done to the team mysteriously disappeared. Before any harm could be done, the team mysteriously disappeared. Okay. Most assumed that this was a convenient lie to help their identities, but a few months later, the inner cabinet was murdered. There was no incriminating evidence. It was clear who was responsible. Realizing the threat posed by this rogue outfit, the Special Task Group dispatched a team of hunters When they didn't return, they dispatched 10 of the brightest operators, and only 2 returned. They operated no evidence of the League. No further incidents were reported, and it was assumed that the League was wiped out. Some recently classified documents, however, have suggested that there may have been a 13th member who eluded the Solarian military. So maybe he's or they're behind it all. Why the special task groups didn't return, or why the League of One actually also went on. Okay, Turian culture. Turians are individuals with personal desires. Their instinct is to equate the self with the group and set aside personal desires for the good of all. They are thought to have a strong sense of personal accountability, also known as the Turian honor, that other races find so remarkable. Turians are thought to make their own decision, even if it's good or ill. The worst sin they can make in the eyes of their people is to lie about their own actions. Turians have a strong inclination towards public service and self-sacrifice, so they tend to be poor entrepreneurs. To compensate, they accepted the mercantile Foles as a client race, offering protection in exchange for fiscal expertise. Fiscal? The Turian military is center of their society. It is not just an armed force. The military police are also the civic police. The fire brigades serve the civilian population as well as military facilities. The Corps of Engineers builds and maintains spaceports, schools, water purification plants, and power stations. The Merchants Marine ensures that all worlds get resources. So, yeah, like they said, Turians are very proud, and like they take honor is a big thing for them, and personal accountability is something that is aspired to. So if you cannot explain your own actions, it's considered the worst sin, basically. Although they lack the brutality of the Krogan, the skill of the Asari, and the of the humans, the Turian military had formidable discipline. Officers and NCOs are lifers with years of field experience. Enlisted personnel are thoroughly trained and stay calm under fire. Turian units don't break, even if their entire line collapses and they fall back in order. Basically, their motto is, you will only see a Turian's back once he's dead. Boot camp begins on the 15th birthday. Soldiers receive a year of training before being assigned to a field unit. Officers train for even longer. Most serve until the age of 30, at which point they become part of the reserves. Even if they suffer injuries preventing front-line service, most do support work behind the lines. Biotics are uncommon. While admired for the exacting skills biotics, motives are not always fully trusted by the common soldier. The Turians prefer to assign the biotics to specialist teams called cabals or cabals. Tradition is important. Each legion has a full-time staff of historians who chronicle its battle honors in detail. Okay, that's a weird sentence, but anyway. The oldest have records dating back to the Turian Iron Age. If a legion is destroyed in battle, it is reconstituted rather than replaced. The Turians recruited. Yeah. So basically they know what they're doing when it comes to war, or like how to organize it, I would say. And like I said, they don't really use biotics. It's very uncommon for them to use it. There's only like a special group behind the whole organization that have biotics that take care of certain things. The Unification War. So during the time when the Solarians and the Asari were forming the council, the Turians were in the middle of a civil war, also known as the Unification War, as it was later named. It began with hostilities between the colonies furthest from the Turian homeworld Palafon. These colonies were run by local chieftains, many of whom had distanced themselves from the hierarchy. Without influence of the government, the colonies became increasingly xenophobic. Colonists began wearing emblems of facial markings to differentiate themselves from members of other colonies, and open hostilities became common. So the colonies that were on Palafon, or the furthest from the Turian homeworld, became xenophobic, and they started to distance themselves from a hierarchy that the other colonies already had constructed. And so those colonists began wearing emblems or facial markings to state the difference between them and the hierarchy. When the war finally broke out, the hierarchy maintained strict diplomacy and refused to get involved. After several years of fighting, less than a dozen factions remained, and the hierarchy finally intervened. By the time that the chieftains were too weak to resist, they were forced to put an end to fighting and renew the alliances to the hierarchy. Okay. So they were fighting. At some point, the hierarchy started to kick in, whilst the colonists were already at their lowest or at their weakest, and they were forced to at some point give up the fight and work with the hierarchy. Though the peace was restored, it took several decades of the animosity between the colonists to fade completely. To this day, most Turians still wear facial markings of their home colonies. As a point of interest, the term barefaced refers to one who is beguiling or not to be trusted. It is also a slang term for politicians. So we can see it, like this Turian here doesn't have any facial markings, but Garoth does. So a Turian that doesn't have any facial markings is basically called out to be a barefaced, which is a big swear, or like, how do you say it? It's not swear. It's just like extremely like rude, I guess, to them. Anything else? Prothean beacons. The beacon was a Prothean artifact on Earth on the Alliance colony of Eden Prime. Yeah, so like when we went to Eden Prime, there was a beacon on Earth that was created by the Protheans. It resembles Prothean databanks recovered on Mars. So yeah, so the whole reason why we found out about the mass relay is because when we started to colonize Mars is when we found Prothean databanks. And because of those databanks, we managed to... It proved to be a solid state. I'm sorry for the silence there. I was trying to read a bit, but I have to remember that I need to say out loud what I'm doing. Intact Prothean paleo technology is rare. The beacon seemed to promise another quantum leap of technology akin to the discovery of the mass effect drive and relays. So it's very rare to see Prothean data or beacons that are intact. And the few times that we did find those, in the moments when we did find the intact Prothean beacons or databanks, is when we leaped in technology, basically. Like, that's how, if we didn't find the whole Prothean databank on Mars, we wouldn't have been in the council. And same goes for like the Asari Salarians. If they didn't find the Citadel, which is, as they stated, made by the Protheans, then we wouldn't have a council to begin with. Unfortunately, the beacon also drew attention to the rogue Spectre, Saren Satarians, and his synthetic allies, the Geth. It was a dawn raid by his flagship Sovereign resulted in hundreds of civilian casualties. The beacon was badly damaged. The motives behind the attacks are still being investigated, which is what we are doing. Yeah, and here's when we basically got the visions from it, and it said we suffered no ill effects. And after we interacted with it, the mechanics appeared to be dead, so it doesn't work anymore. Prothean Cipher. The Prothean beacon downloaded its knowledge into Lieutenant Commander Shepard on Eden Prime, causing confusing dreams and visions. So that's what it did, basically. It downloaded all of the knowledge that was in the beacon into our brain. But I think we can precisely handle the information, so that's why we get confusing dreams and visions. It's been suggested that the Prothean data recording is highly dependent on a certain point of view. The cipher needed to comprehend the images implanted in Shepard's mind is... so the beacon needed to comprehend what was going on in Shepard, or in our mind, so we could understand the cultural knowledge of a Prothean, I guess. Despite all evidence confirming the existence of the Protheans, little is known about their culture and society. From time to time, this site will yield new clues, but after 50,000 years of decay, little of value is unearthed. Recent research has focused on the discovery of Prothean data disks on their own. They are frail and rarely found in one piece. Occasionally, however, an intact disk will be discovered within a console or reading device. Long Council raises Gav hoppers and armatures. Armatures are quadruped all-terrain heavy weapon platforms akin to the armored fighting vehicles of other races. Geth being synthetic intelligences, armatures are not crude vehicles, but intelligent entities capable of independent decision-making and learning. They are equipped with heavy kinetic barriers. The main cannon mounted on the articulated head turret appears to be a highly efficient conventional mass accelerator. To battle, presumably for re-encounter purposes, other hosts. Okay, and the hoppers. These models are called hoppers by Alliance forces are electronic. But the Alliance forces are electronic warfare platforms. They can project. Okay. Expect them. They can also perform cyber warfare. The structure of hoppers consists of highly elastical artificial muscle material. This also allows the hoppers to compress its entire body for powerful leaps. Yeah, the hoppers are extremely annoying to fight, and it's very funny because they're only in this game, they're not in any of the other Mass Effect games. Anything here? Biotic training and communications. Yeah, I feel like we should just do some side missions and see how it go. So we have unusual readings, investigate system, go to the Hadra system in the Argus row cluster. Okay, so let's go there. Argus row, where are you? Oh, here. And Hydra.
Message coming in. Patching it through.
General distress call from the Sacred Angel Medical Transport. Critical system failure. Losing power. Emergency landing. Argos. Communications failing. Life support and emergency transponder. Won't last. Please hurry.
Okay, so here's where we have to land. Let's look at the other planets running surface. Another Turian insignia. Scans of the planet Canrum reveal dangerous levels of radiation. Chief Engineer Adams conducted further scans and discovered the remains of an ancient warhead marked with the Parvia colony insignia. And I saw there's one here. Nothing really. And one here. Cyber. Gas deposit. Helium-3. Let's go to Medgas. While this is loading, I shall go ahead and look up the map. Medgas. Here we go. Okay, let's take Talion Liara. So let's look at the map. It says that there's something here, so let's go. Most of the time the bosses really stand out compared to the different landscapes, or the landscape mostly. Deposit of thorium, thank you. And then there's another thing here.
There is the wreckage. I do not see any survivors though. Careful, Shepard. I've got a...
Geth! It's a trap!
There we go. Let's take care of the armatures first. Oh, they're also in the sky. There we go. Oh, we can manage up them as well. There is another armature there. Let's shoot it down. And that was it. Is there anything we can do with this though? Oh no. It was just a trap from the get. Insignia. While searching for the wreckage, while searching the wreckage, we already found it. We found a very old letter stamped with the Garoth colony insignia. Unfortunately, the text is indecipherable.
Negative contact, Shepard.
Let's head back in the Mako. And let's level up Liara. Do this so we can get some electronics and barriers. We can do that. Unlock stasis, do warp, and then we can eventually get singularity and advanced singularity. Do we have enough points to unlock lift? We do. Get lift. Also, for you guys to know, throw, lift, warp, singularity, barrier, and stasis are all biotic abilities. So, as it says here, she's an Asari scientist, but because she is Asari, all Asaris are biotics, basically. Tali, we have 4 more points. We can get one in here and a few maybe in there. Yes. And let's return. Okay, let's look at the journal. Got some valuable minerals. Ah, we got all of the gases. Nice. And we got more terrain insignia. We can do strange transmission now. Head to the sentry system in the Hawking Era cluster and investigate the strange biotic immune. The Hawking Eta. Okay, I think we saw it somewhere around here. Ah, here it is. Sentry.
Message coming in, Commander. Big surprise. The Alliance needs you again.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett with Alliance Command. We've got a mission for you. An Alliance officer named Major Kyle has set up a small compound in the Hawking Eta cluster. He's attracted a number of followers, mostly biotics. He's become an outspoken critic of the Alliance, and we believe he's mentally unstable. This could be trouble, Shepard.
I'll look into it.
3 days ago, we sent 2 Alliance representatives to meet with him at his compound. They've disappeared. We believe Kyle and his followers killed them. That compound is a cult, Shepard. They call him Father Kyle now. He set himself up as some kind of religious leader.
You said his followers were biotics?
Yes. Major Kyle never showed any biotic tendencies himself, though. I think he's just latched onto a group he identifies with. Many biotics feel marginalized or ostracized by society. Kyle probably sees them as victims who need his protection, and they see him as someone who will fight for them. Unfortunately, he's convinced them that the Alliance is somehow responsible for all their problems. We can't let him go on like this.
What were those Alliance representatives going to talk to Major Kyle about?
They wanted to bring him back to an Alliance facility for treatment. Major Kyle served us faithfully for many years. We weren't going to abandon him. Given his state of mind, however, he probably saw them as a threat. We're almost certain he had his followers killed him.
What else can you tell me about Major Kyle?
He used to be a model soldier, but something happened to him at Torfin. Too many Alliance soldiers died under his command. Couldn't cope with the guilt. His psych evaluations showed he couldn't handle the stress of command anymore. He was given an honorable discharge in early retirement. We'd hoped he would get better in time, but we underestimated how far gone he was. Now it looks like it's too late.
I might be able to end this without violence.
You serve with him. He might listen to you. But he's already killed 2 Alliance representatives. I trust you to use your judgment. Hack it out.
Oh, so he's stationed on the moon. Anything here? No. In the astral belt, maybe. Oh, there it is. Heavy metal, nice. While scanning the asteroid in the Hawking Eta cluster, we detected a large deposit of palladium. Palladium? Survey light metal, a deposit of cobalt. The last one is here. A medallion recovered while scanning the planet Faropto. You discovered a tiny moon with some odd readings. Further scans by Chief Engineer Adams revealed a destroyed escape pod. Your salvage team recovered the components and found a League of One medallion. Let's land. Once again, I'm gonna get my map. Let's get Ashley this time. More fun. Says there's something here, so let's go there. But before we go, let's see if Ashley has any new points. Oh, she does. Yay. Let's get all of the assault rifle so we can get overkill and master overkill. Let's get combat armor for her. We can equip heavy armor and some shield boosts. She can get first aid, assault training. So she can get adrenaline, and we can get fitness for her. And now we also have immunity for her. Anything for Tali? I don't think so, no. Speedrun? Go. Oops. It's terrifying. Oh no, it's we got it. Let's prepare for a bit and see where the next point is. Anything here? Or was that just it?
This is a private sanctuary. Outsiders are not welcome here.
I need to talk to the man in charge. It's important.
Father Kyle wants nothing more to do with the Alliance.
I want this to end peacefully. If he doesn't see me, people could get hurt.
We won't let you take Father Kyle away. He protects us. We need him.
The Alliance wants someone to pay for those murders. Let me speak to Major Kyle, and maybe I can find some way to help you all get out of this alive.
Wait. Father Kyle will speak with you. Head to the building at the far end of the compound. He'll meet you there.
So we found his base. And then shift, not jump. Guessing this is it.
The Alliance wants to wipe us out. Father Kyle told us.
Why would they want you wiped out?
Biotics can feel safe here.
Anything here that we can get? Oh, there's a medical kit.
Everyone looks at us like we're freaks, just because we have biotics.
I don't think that is the case.
Nobody cares about us biotics. We have to look out for each other.
No other doors to go. Let's check this out before. Ah, thank you.
The Alliance wants to wipe us out. Father Kyle told us.
Thank you.
I am Major Kyle. I know why you've come. We have no quarrel with you. Why can't you just leave us alone?
What happened to those other Alliance officers? The ones who came before me?
They wanted to take me away from here. They wanted me to abandon this place, turn my back on my family. They spoke blasphemy. I did what I could to make their end quick and painless. I had no other choice. It was necessary to protect my children. Only I can keep them safe.
The Alliance sent me to bring you in, Major. Can't you see this has gotten out of hand? Don't you understand you are endangering your followers?
I respect that you have come under a banner of peace, but I cannot do as you ask. If you take away their father, my children will be helpless.
You ordered your followers to kill those Alliance investigators. You must face the consequences of your actions. Do you really want your children to suffer for your sins too?
No, this was my fault. My children are innocent, pure. Please, I never meant for this to happen. I'm sorry.
You're doing the right thing, Major. Your children will be better off for it. Come on.
Wait, if my children see you taking me away, they won't understand. They will attack and you will be forced to kill them all. You have shown me the error of my ways, Commander. Now you must give me time to explain it to them. It is the only way they will understand. Please, give me 1 hour. After that, I will meet the Alliance authorities at the gates of my compound and surrender without violence. I give you my word.
I'm gonna trust you. If you betray that trust, you and all your children will suffer.
I will not betray you, Commander. Thank you for this.
Joker can have the 5th Fleet pick Major Kyle up. I just hope you know what you're doing, Commander.
You should return to the Normandy and notify the Alliance of Kyle's surrender. They'll want to dispatch a ship to take him into custody. But this whole thing... I think we've found this on the... one of the PCs or computer or whatever you call it in this universe.
Those other men from the Alliance tried to kill Father Kyle.
Where they were like, biotics. They called out for all the biotics to come and join them. Entering insignia, digging under the beacon revealed a piece of scrap metal, likely from a very old freighter. It was marked on one side with the Macedon outpost insignia. And there's something down here as well. Oh, the whole ass car. Discovery. The front of the rover is crumpled in from impact. A glance inside tells you the occupants, probably a team of illegal wildcat miners, are dead. Debris is still sliding down the furrows left by its tires, silent in the near vacuum atmosphere. This cluster of prefab utility shacks have a distinctly ramshackle look to them. A set of rover tracks lead away over the mountain ridge to the southwest. Thank you. Anything more? Oh, yeah. Was that it? Let's head back to the Normandy. And I think if we do
Message
this,
coming in.
yeah.
Patching it through.
Admiral Hackett here, Commander. Your helmsman just forwarded your report on Major Kyle. We sent in a team as you instructed. Kyle's followers have disbanded, and the Major surrendered to us without incident. We'll make sure he gets the help he needs. To be honest, Shepard, I thought this thing was going to end in a bloodbath. I don't know how you did it, but you saved a lot of lives. Congratulations.
Let's look at our journal. So we have this one, but we have to speak to Kahoku. And this one is in the Horsehead Nebula cluster in the Strena system. Can head there. Oh, Horsehead here. And then the Strena.
Commander, urgent message from Alliance Command coming in. I'll patch it through.
Shepard, this is Admiral Hackett from Alliance Command. We've got a situation here, and you're the only one that can handle it.
What do you need, Admiral?
There's an Alliance training ground where we test weapons and technology in live fire simulations. One of the VIs we use to simulate enemy tactics in the drills is no longer responding to our override commands. It's gone rogue.
Are you telling me this computer is thinking on its own?
We're not stupid, Shepard. This is a virtual intelligence, not a true AI. It's not self-aware, and it can't access any external systems. We didn't do anything illegal here. Virtual intelligence support is critical to our military success. VIs process thousands of status reports and react in nanoseconds. No human can do that. We need you to fight your way through the training ground of the VI core and manually disable it.
Can't you disable it remotely?
Our failsafes aren't responding. The VI operates on a closed network. It can affect any external systems, but we don't have any direct access to its processes. We could bomb it from orbit, but the damage to the facility would be catastrophic. We'd prefer to have someone shut down the core. Someone like you. I know Spectres answer the Council, but you're still human. You're still part of the Alliance military, and right now we need you. The VI controls all the facility's weapons, drones, and automated defenses. You're the only one that can pull this off, Shepard. Good luck.
So where is this exactly? Rogue VI. A Rogue VI has taken over an Alliance training ground located on Earth's moon. Alliance Command needs you to eliminate the VI. Ah, okay. So we have to go to our own moon. Medallion recovered. Your scan uncovered an ancient deep space probe slowly orbiting Yunfurl. Tali brought it on board, dismantled it, and found a leak of one medallion hidden in its payload. Yes, we got helium-3. Oh, there's something here. A faint trail of radioactive particles, possibly exhaust from a sublight nuclear engine drive, leads towards a nearby planet of Xawin. This is Xawin. Oh, come today. Bring Caden. Let's bring up the map real quick. Win map. Okay, there we go. We can go down here first, because it's the furthest point away. Discovery. It appears this person was trying to mark the nearby mineral deposit when he died or was killed. The generator? We can activate it? There appears to be no one left at this camp. The generator is still functioning, but there are no signs of the former occupant. The camp's computer notes several locations of interest. So if you look at the map, everything is noted down. So I basically don't have to use the map anymore. The beacon was a gaff trap. Oh no, we have to fight more armor troops real quick. There we go, it's one. I can see 3 more. Oh, this one is still active. Oh, we got it. There we go. And then the last one's here. There we go. Got them all. And those it. And then we'll looks like they're enemies. Ah, the turret. Go. And there's more here. Okay. That's the last one. I can't see that one. Yeah. And there are people here. Ah, didn't jump in time, and there's someone there. Anything else? Oh, there's one there. There we go. There are enemies.
Enemy is everywhere! Go, go, go! Shields out. Can't get alive. Target acquired.
Go. Ah, he didn't die.
I owe you one.
Oh, you actually got it. And that one as well. You are clipping through the wall. I think. Is someone up there? I'm guessing so. There we go.
I think we got him, Commander.
Thank you. Captain Willem. You have discovered the corpse of Captain Willem on the MSV Majesty. His stiff fingers are wrapped tightly around a small datapad. Take the datapad. We'll look at the journal. You've discovered what happened to Willem, Garoth's brother. Return to the Citadel Tower and tell him his brother's fate. Oh. That's sad.
Patching you up.
Heal up Caden a bit. Okay. Oh no, another Prussian one. Oh, more tentacles shut up. It's a close by. One more. There we go. More? Really? Come on, go. I keep missing it. Come on. It's dead anyway, yeah. Is it really safe to get out after that? I don't feel like it is. Oh, come on, I almost had it. There we go. Anything else in this area? No. Let's return to the Normandy. Any assignment? We did this. Find missing researchers. Travel to the NTS system in the Hades Gamma cluster to look for the missing survey team. Okay, let's do that. Hades Gamma cluster.